Hello, I thought I would create a little video to show you how you might transfer or buy a pension or ISA using your True Potential website. And you can see up here we have a transfer or buy an investment button. Click on here and then decide what type of investment you want to buy. If you're opening a new ISA for this tax year, you would click here. If you were transferring your ISA from somewhere else over onto the True Potential platform, you would click here. Again, personal pensions here, open a new pension, transfer my pension, they're the relevant buttons. General investment account, you'd only use one of these after you've used up your stocks and shares ISA allowance of 20,000, as you can see, and the personal pension side of things. So we're going to work with transferring my pension. Okay, so we click here. Now you have to decide on a goal. I'm going to run through this quite quickly. So you give your goal a name. Your investment goal is the target that you want to achieve for your pension. So we might go 100,000 as a figure. Okay. How much do you want to transfer today? That's roughly what you have in your pension pots existing. So let's say that is £25,000. You can see, and then it asks you how much you want to invest each month. So if you put in here £80 with tax relief, you'll see that you'll be putting in £100. So you can set up a regular payment into the plan, but we'll leave that at 0 for now. Then this shows you the £25,000 over a period of years, 25 years, the limit at the moment. Depending on what growth rate will depend on the return that you will get on the investment. As we're simply setting up the transfer at the moment, we don't need to worry too much about this side of things, but it's something that we can discuss directly with a separate meeting. So we click accept and continue. Now we've got some eligibility questions. So to be able to pay into a pension on a regular basis or to do a pension, you need to have an income. So that'd be employed or self-employed. Need to know what your monthly income is after tax, so £2,500, and your monthly outgoings, let's say £1,500. Okay, now what it wants to know is, have you got, because we're looking to invest, have you got 3 times your monthly outgoings in an emergency fund? And if you hover over these question marks, you can see what they're looking for. So do you have, we answer yes. If you say no, it's going to say, well, build up your emergency fund first before you commit to transferring a pension. So again, we'll hit continue. Okay, we're going down. It tells you your monthly income. You've got disposable, you've got positive disposable income. You have the recommended amount in your emergency fund. So we hit continue. Your assets. So again, this is to make sure that you're solvent. So again, I'm just going to choose some figures here. Let's say my house, my 2 Harley Davidsons, etc. This is my mortgage. Okay, so again, we've got more assets than liabilities. Again, it will be looking for you to be in that sort of position, positive assets and liabilities situation there. Have you invested in a discretionary managed service before? Okay, you're probably not sure. Okay, and then it goes on to explain what discretionary management is. And essentially, we're going to find your attitude to risk, and we will blend a number of funds to match your attitude to risk. So you'll click to say you understand that, have a read through. Have you invested in funds before? Or if you're transferring money from somewhere onto the platform, you will have invested in funds before, and it's likely to be more than 1 year. Okay. Then we need to know how often you invest. Now, if you're a regular saver, then it will be monthly. If you just top up every now and again, might be less than once a year. Then further explanation, depending on how you tick this, will open up the questions. We'll assume that it's less than once a year. You need to understand. Okay, you can see it's quite a few things. Now we're going to start asking you some questions about your understanding of the market. So you just need to answer these questions honestly. You understand. I'm just going to rush through and not spend too much time on these because obviously that will technically guide you. So I'm just going to choose some middle of the road things here. To give it a couple of seconds to register the answer to your question. The continue button will be made live. Most pensions you tend to invest will withdraw between 0 and 4%. That's a sustainable level. Now we're looking at how you feel about risk. So we've got these different scenarios. The secure, less risky, if you like, will go up by, potentially could go up in a year by 13%, could drop by 11. This one could go up by 28 or drop by -26. So you just choose which of those you're most comfy with. And we go through these 12 questions. Again, you've invested 100. Which of these 5 scenarios below would you want for your investment portfolio? Could go up by 20 grand, could drop by 16.5, depending on how much risk you're prepared to take. So again, scenario wise, I'm just going for the middle here. Now, if you feel that you're not quite ready to finish off, you can exit the purchase using this button at any time. And what will happen is it will save this into a basket for you so that you can pick it up later. Okay. Again, read the questions. I'm not going to go into these too much because I don't really want to guide you whilst you're answering these questions here. So imagine you've invested 100,000 of your money, it's fallen in value to £80,000, and this happens in an early stage of your intended investment period. How would you react? Well, I know it's a long-term plan, but you might be a little bit, more concerned. So I would not change it, but that's just me. As I said, I'm unlikely to move my money, but yeah, we'll go with 15,000 in the middle. It's all about your understanding and how much you're prepared to risk. So that's why I'm trying not to guide you on the questions, because it is your money and it's your risk attitude. Again, you need to answer how you feel about this. Now, depending on how the 12 questions are answered, it will come back. It will come back with, well, the last question is your scenario. So, if you've got a serious or long-term illness, maybe investing for the long term shouldn't be something to consider. If you've been widowed or bereaved in the last 6 months, you're considered to be vulnerable. So again, you should be doing this, maybe wait a little while longer till your mind is comfortable. And if you're not expecting significant changes in your set of circumstances. So none of the above applied to me. So I'm going to continue. Then what we've got is, based on the questions that I've answered, it's come up with a choice of portfolios, the True Potential Growth portfolio or the True Potential Growth Plus portfolio. And you can click here and get a little bit more information, and it will tell you how the money's invested, the different fund managers, how it's allocated, so across the stocks and US, UK, the value over time, what it's done. As you can see, there's been changes, big drops on occasion. The performance does vary over time. Okay. If you want to look at the documents in a little bit more detail, there's some that you can download to have a look at. So I go with the growth portfolio because it's a little bit more sparkly. So we accept that and continue. So it's a summary, it's saying what I'm doing, where the money's going to be going, what the costs are. So I've estimated the transfer value of 25,000. If you've got your statement in the meantime, you can edit that. Now, being on the platform with True Potential will cost 0.4%, and the product cost, that's the fund that you're in, that's 0.78. But the performance figures that you've seen are after the funds and the product cost. The annual management charges have been taken into consideration. So if it's returned 5% over a period, that's 5% net of the charges. So the actual return was probably nearer 6. Okay, so that's the cost. Now, there will be a figure based on our charges, which we will have agreed with you before you got to this stage. All right, so this tells you anything that you want to change at this point. You can edit it. All right, and then it's a case of hitting accept and continue. I'm not going to do that because this is my personal account. Run through your personal details, confirm those, and then the purchase is the last step. And then you will put in the policy number because this is a transfer, put in the policy number and the provider, and you'll be able to complete the transaction. Okay, so a little whistle stop idea of what you will be looking out for. Okay, and so you can see there, it will come up with these things. You accept and continue. If at any time you've got any questions, you can just click the link to my Calendly account, my calendar, and you can book in a quick 20-minute catch up. We'll discuss where you're at. You'll be able to share your screen with me and show me where you are. So that's it. I'm going to exit the purchase here. If you exit the plan and log out and then go back into the process of transferring the pension, it will pick up where you were before and take you through the rest of the transaction. So I needed to find out how that worked, and I've just done that for you. So that's the thing. If you get halfway through and you find you're in a position where you need to gather some data or go back to it, then that's the thing to do. Just log out. When you log back in and you start the process of going, it will pick up where you were previously. There we have it. So that's a quick whistle stop on getting into the True Potential platform and moving your stuff around. So any questions, just get in touch. We'll be happy to help.